Now, the situation in Russia is becoming very close for a bigger revolution. But before that, let us see about the First World War and the role of Russia. During the First World War, initially at Russia, there was a popular support for the World War. But when the Tsar did not actually take advice from the other parties and the people, the support started becoming thin. There were other reasons also why Russia had to come out of the war. It was because the Russian army lost badly at various quarters and the casualties were very high. Now, Russia did not even have very good factories and industries at that time, and all the industrial goods which used to reach Russia from other countries were cut off by the Germans. So, the situation became very grim in Russia. Then lots of grain or bread had to be taken to feed the soldiers in the battlefield. Therefore, the grains became scarce in Russia. So, there were queues for bread, long queues for bread in Russia at that time. So, whether it was the grains or the people who were killed or the industrial products which could not reach Russia or the attitude of the Tsar, all contributed to the fact that Russia ultimately felt that it could no longer continue with the World War. Then there occurred the February Revolution in Petrograd. First of all, the Petrograd was divided into two zones. On the right side of the Neva river lived the workers, that is the poor people, and on the left side were placed all the high society people. Whether it was the palace, the Duma or the official buildings, all were situated on the left side of the Neva river. That was the first division that could be seen in Petrograd. Now, the strike occurred on the right side of the Neva river, and it was so immense and there was lockout in the factories and industries that ultimately the government had to impose curfew. Even the women played a great role in this particular strike which had started with. The Tsar acted with an iron hand and he suspended the Duma on 25th February. The workers at this time now came forward and started demanding bread, wages, better working hours and democracy. These were the slogans of the workers at this time. Now, the Tsar ordered the cavalry to go and stop with all these strikes which were continuing, but the cavalry refused to shoot any of the worker, and a delegation was made to go and actually advise the Tsar, and the delegation met and advised the Tsar to abdicate, and the Tsar thankfully agreed to this and he abdicated. For the time being, the Russians got a provisional government, a government of the Soviet leaders and the Duma, that is the government for the time being. I continue with the story of the Russian Revolution in the next clipping.